In the multiplayer, it is very important to share some actions between users. In this step, we want to talk how we can share orders, functions, or variables between UGVs in the simulator. Okay, in the previous step, we talked about how we can share and streaming our important variables between one user to another users in the network. In this step, we want to create some actions and share these actions with the sharing the variables into the network. For example, we had an object for pickupping. And in here, we want to share the transform of variables of this object. For example, if the user 1 grab this object, other users can see the new destination and rotation of this object. For doing that, we can add first photon view, and after that, photon transform view. Once we check on the position and rotation of this object, so we can see the new destination and new rotation of this object every frames. For example, I want to export an Excel, and we will see what will happen if one of the users can pick up this object and other user can see this action. Right, now I want to grab okay. Let's go to the position of this cube. Right. Now I want to join as you can see, the user 1 UGV is front of the cube, and we can see the user 2 UGV here. Right, and I press space. Oh, I couldn't. In here we can see the destination. Aha. Oh, we cannot see the destination here. Where is the cube? In here, pickupping object. Oh, do you know why it's happening? Because we only shared the transform numbers, but in fact, in here, the transform of this object has a new parent, and this parent is our mechanical arms. But we didn't share the parent of this object. So in here, in the user 1, in the user 2 device, a pickupping object, it still doesn't have any parent. So the numbers of the positions for here, because it is locally and it is from 000, in here it's try to set the 000, and 000 of unity is here, and it's falling down because it has rigid body. If we want to do this action, we have to set the parent of this cube for this mechanical arms as well. So it is a good action for doing. Okay, we have to change something in the pickupping object, and we have to share the parent of this object into the network. Okay, let's to copy the mechanism of sharing an object and sharing the variable in here. Photon view, and here photon view, and it is for sharing the variables. Okay, we can change the mechanism. I say send parent, no, send value. No, keep it, it's better for naming. But in here we will say the parent's name, something. Nose.transform. Yeah, in here we have an object for parent. Here it is nose. And in here we will say nose.name. So because the nose.name is a string variable, so in here we have to define a string variable for that, and it's here we will say new parent name. Right. I want to first test this function. New parent's name equal new parent's name. And in here, I want to call this function once we grab an object in here. Perfect. And right now we have to drag and drop our photon view to this variable. Okay, I think we are ready to test. All right, let's go to this dear object. Okay, that's it. New parent name is arm nose. Oh my god. Press R. No, my friend. Okay. Anyway, let's to remove this function and these prints because it's make our console busy and we don't need them right now. Okay. Now our console will be cleaner than before. In here, we understood our new parent's name. What is it? In here, we can say, let's to find this object. Game object is a new parent equal game object dot find the name new parent. Perfect. And we can put it in here. Perfect. After that, we can say, okay, let's to comment it and copy this part and put it here. And what is the name? New parent. What will happen right now? Once we hit the box or pick up an object and try to grab it, it's try to send that object's name into the network. After that, we will find that game object with the name of that transform. After we found that object, it's called, when we call it new parent, set the parent of the pickupping object with the new parent's transform we have found in here. Let's do test. Go, 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 go. Perfect. It worked well. But because once we instantiate two users at the same time in the scene, or maybe more than two users, because we don't have any naming system or authentication for any users, our prefabs will have the same names. Look at this. We have Zomboni clone, Zomboni clone. And so their UGV mechanical arms and arm mean pivot and arm nose will have the same name. So this function game object new parent dot find the name will be two objects, and we will have a problem. Our system cannot understand, okay, try to find which arm nose, the first one or the second one. Maybe right now we will have we will not have any problem, but I'm sure eventually we will have a problem if I can't grab it. It seems I couldn't grab. Look at this. It has found the object, but which one? Picking object, where is it? Look at this. We don't know where is it exactly. And maybe it is here for the second one. It is not our player. That's right. And the position of it is equal this one, and it is wrong. So it's time to set an ID for each users in the network. Look at this. Our console has a problem, and our PC get a string has a problem in here. Thank you, my friend. Right, I want to create a system for generating an ID for each user. And for example, the editor Unity user is number 1 forever, and the exe user will be number 2. With this method, we will not have any conflictions, something like that, and we can find our game object easily. For doing that, we have to go to our UGV prefab here, and we can share our mechanism with an ID. We can say in here we will have a script. So it's called user info, right? It's compiled, okay. And in the Zomboni we will add this script to here. We don't need them, we will hide them for now. Okay, we have to do exactly the same here. Okay, photon view here, and the same mechanism for here as well. Okay, in here we will say public int number, no, sorry, ID number, right? And copy this part, and we will say new ID number, because our variable is int, we will call int in here. Right, print new ID number, and ID number in here. Oh, excuse me, equal and plus. Right, and we will say in the start function we will call this number. Perfect. And after that we will say public game object nose arm, right? And we will say nose arm dot name equal nose arm dot name plus ID number. No, we can share this part here after we found this number. Okay, what will happen? For example, the Unity editor ID is 1. So it's try to send the number to ID number into the network, and all the UGVs from username from the Unity editor in the another devices will achieve this number. And after that, they will say, okay, this is our ID. But because we will have something like, okay, our UGV has this number and another UGV has this number as well, we have to make something like login system into our scene. Before we complete this part, we have to come back to our main menu. Let's go to the scenes main menu in here. As you remember, we had something, it's called username. We can change the mechanism and we'll say a string and username here, and it's here for a string, and username in here, and new username in here. Perfect. Now our mechanism will be once we press we write anything into the username and go to the scene, we're going to the level multiplayer automatically, and after that our UGV has a specific username. After once we share this username into the other usernames, if our username will be the equal with the result of the RPC get value, we will not say anything. If it is not equal, we will change it. Right, let's to make it in first in the main menu. I want to remove the enter button because we don't need it. We can add this function enter my button action into the go to scene button. Main menu, manager, and initially it is go to scene. And what was the enter button action? Enter my button action. Right. Now we can delete it. Now, once we press go to scene button, we will do two functions at the same time. First, enter my button action. Next, go to scene. Right. In here, what was the name of level's name? Let's to add multiplayer name as well. Okay, main menu, number 3. And into the list of the levels, we have to add the number 3 as well. In fact, number 4. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, the list of levels. In here, we will add level 3. Okay. Username Abulfaz. Okay, and in the here level 3, go to scene. Oh, what is the name of this? We have to change this mechanism because we don't have any enter button. I want to remove it from here. Thank you. And we can add a simple system for if the username text is empty, our function will not work. So we will say, okay, dear user, you have to write your username. So in here we will add an if if equal not null. We will have this mechanism as well in here. Thank you, my input username file. Right. Let's do test. It doesn't work. Oh, but we have to say level 3. Oh, it works. Why? Anyway, it's not our priority. Let's make it for username first. After that, we will work on this part as well. Right, we are in the level 3. What is the issue? Okay, because the photon view is empty, it's trying to say, okay, it's my photon view is null. He's right. Let's come back to the level 3. We are done with the main menu. Okay, and in here we have to drag and drop our photon view into the photon view variable. And after that, drag and drop our nose as well. Perfect. Okay. Let's do test. Oh, no. Because our username will not load in the first moment, so our username will be empty. We had something for call our username in here. Here. Player prefs dot get a string username, and we'll say username equal this one. As you can see, we can test our character and our UGV robot into the network. Oh, look at this, Abulfaz as a username. And in here we can go to the UGV and UGV mechanical arms. Perfect. Right now arm nose is arm nose Abulfaz. Exactly the same mechanism for here. But because it is the direct order for any UGV robot, it will be have a problem. It will has a problem with the another UGVs into the scene. So we will say if in here, if the username is equal the username. Try to change the name of the nose arm. For example, we have two users in the scene. First, Abulfaz UGV, and second, Honey UGV. Without this if, once Abulfaz joined to the scene, the nose arm of Abulfaz will be nose arm Abulfaz. But after Honey joining to the scene, Honey's arm will be nose arm Honey, and Abulfaz's arm will be nose arm Honey as well, because this function will be directly. But with this if, Abulfaz nose arm, it is still Abulfaz nose arm, but the only Honey's nose arm will be equal Honey's nose arm. Right. Let's to test it. and we can say Abulfaz nose arm in here. Perfect. Now we have to do something cool in here. In the user information, we can change the name of the character as well. For example, any number we want. Any name, sorry. Transform dot name equal UGV space plus new username. Look at this. Our UGV's name is UGV Abulfaz. And in here, arm nose is Abulfaz. Let's to export an exe and test it in the real condition. Okay. We'll go to the main menu for now and press level 3 and I say honey, go to the scene. It is UGV honey. Oh, in here we have both of them are UGV Abulfaz. Our mechanism has a problem. Both of them are arm Abulfaz nose, and in here it is the same for both of them. Right, our mechanism has a problem. We have to figure it out how we can change it. For fixing that problem, we have a solution and get help from PhotonView. We have another solution for renaming the UGV inside of the network, and we will add in the user info in the void start, we will add if PhotonView is mine equal true, the username from get a string and from the main menu, and after change the nickname of the UGV equal username. The nickname photonview.owner.nickname, it means call sign and name of that object in the network. So you can add any name for nickname or equal with your username. After that, you'll say if the isMine equal true, the nosearm.name equal the photonview.owner.nickname and transform the name UGV plus nickname, or if it isMine equal false, it will be nickname without get a string from the main menu. With this method, we will have a specific name for transform and for nose arm as well. Okay, let's test it. I want to write honey in here and go to the scene. Perfect. And my username is Abulfaz. As you can see, UGV Abulfaz and UGV Honey. And as you can see in here, UGV Honey's arm nose is arm nose Honey, and UGV Abulfaz is arm nose Abulfaz. Perfect. Now, in here, in the pickup object, we will try to find that game object from name new parent's name. Now we can test it together with the real condition called honey, and wait for saving. Okay, and this UGV stay here. Right. I want to try to pick up this object. Oh. It is a bug in my avatar. It fixed. But the good news is I could to grab an object and it's could to find the real correct nose from the mechanical arms in here. Let's to test it again. Come back here and level 3. Say honey. I stop this one. Oh, because I have joined to the scene one time. Say honey and level 3, go to the scene. Right. And in here, okay, I'm there. Perfect. It works well. Perfect. As a final step of our mission, we can add a 3D text to our UGV prefabs and write the name of transform above it. For example, in here we will have a 3D text and put it 0, 0, 0. Okay, and put it in the center and middle center. Right, and I want to increase the size, the font size, but decrease the game object size. Perfect. Now we would say username text txt something. Right, in the username user info, yes, in the user info we will add a public text mesh username txt, and in here we'll say text equal UGV plus nickname. And drag and drop our name in here, and after that we remove this part. Okay, now export an exe to test it in the real condition. Right, perfect. Let's say honey and level 3. That's it. UGV honey in here and UGV apple fuzz. As you can see, the name of this object is UGV honey, and it is UGV apple fuzz.